33-year-old Rod Shadbelzer Highsmith is behind bars in connection to a double homicide outside of a restaurant. At just before 4 a.m. on Saturday the 22nd of July, authorities responded to the parking lot of the Waffle House at 188 South Dixie Boulevard in Radcliffe, Kentucky, and reports of shots fired. When officers arrived, they found 2 deceased men with gunshot wounds. The victims were identified as 18-year-old Shane Estrada and 30-year-old Carlos Bello. Investigators said that Rod Shad was captured on video and audio surveillance talking to someone about taking a gun from one of the victims. Rod Shad then shot multiple rounds at a vehicle leaving the Waffle House with the 2 victims inside, fatally wounding them. On the afternoon of Monday the 24th of July, Rod Shad was arrested on charges of murder and robbery. Investigators said that Rod Shad freely admitted to his involvement in the shooting. He's been held at the Hardin County Detention Center on a $500,000 bond. Police said that no other injuries were reported and are still working hard on the investigation. It's unclear at this time whether there'll be any additional arrests in connection to the shooting. The investigation into the matter continues. 4 people behind bars for attempting to kidnap a man. On Thursday the 20th of July, Davidson County deputies were called to an attempted kidnapping and shooting at 185 Whisper Drive in Denton, North Carolina. After deputies arrived at the scene, they found the victim with a gunshot wound to his leg. The man said that 4 friends came to his property and ordered him into the trunk of their car at gunpoint. He said that when he tried running away, he was shot in the leg. The man identified the suspects as Jeremy Davis, Kevin Hewlin, Rebecca Mansell, and Sheena Ambrose. The suspects had all fled the scene before deputies arrived. The victim was taken to Rowan Regional Hospital, where he was treated and released. Detectives soon located the suspect's vehicle parked about 12 miles away from the scene of the kidnapping attempt at 8917 Woodsterry Road, a known address for one of the suspects. Detectives quickly gained a search warrant for the residence and conducted the search with the help of the Randolph County Sheriff's Office Special Emergency Response Team. The suspects soon barricaded themselves inside the home. Following several orders over a loudspeaker for everyone to exit the house, chemicals were used to force the suspects outside. The 4 people quickly came out and were all identified as the kidnapping suspects. All 4 were taken into custody without further incident and charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious bodily injury, and second-degree kidnapping. Deputies retrieved multiple firearms from the home believed to be used in the shooting and kidnapping attempt. The suspects are held at the Davidson County Jail, each on a $150,000 secure bond. Police have identified a man wanted in the murder of 21-year-old university student Ariana Morgan, who was fatally shot over the weekend. At 10:09 p.m. on Sunday the 23rd of July, police responded to the Muse Apartments at 1799 Russellville Road in Bowling Green, Kentucky for an assault in progress. When officers arrived, they found a man trying to help Ariana, who was in a critical condition suffering from 2 gunshot wounds. Police said Ariana was shot in a left collarbone with an exit wound under her left breast and a gunshot wound to her left leg. The responding officer stated Ariana was saying "God forgive me" and she couldn't breathe. She was transported to a local hospital and then airlifted to Nashville Trauma Center, where she died early the next morning. Authorities said they believe Ariana was involved in a brief struggle prior to being shot. Investigators said that the man who was trying to help Ariana was a food delivery driver. He told police that he and his girlfriend saw a Hispanic man coming around the corner of the building and doing a gun motion with his hand. Additionally, he told police he saw a navy blue Jeep Patriot was speeding through the parking lot that almost hit him. The pair told police that the driver looked like a black woman wearing glasses in the mid-20s with dreads. However, they stated the Jeep was driving too fast to see anyone else inside. Police said the man did not hear any gunshots in the area when he first arrived at the apartment complex. He told police that he drove slowly through the parking lot and was flagged down by an unknown man stating something was wrong. He found Ariana laying on the ground, shot and covered in blood. He rendered aid until officers and medics arrived at the scene. Police have just announced that they have issued a warrant for the arrest of Malik Jones in Ariana's murder. The Bowling Green Police Department says he should be considered armed and dangerous. The investigation into the matter continues. A 53-year-old man is behind bars after pointing a gun at a police officer. On the night of Friday the 21st of July, authorities responded to a residence along Long Hunters Trail in Glasgow, Kentucky in reference to a complaint. When police arrived, Sergeant Wesley Hicks of the Glasgow Police Department rang the doorbell of the residence, and a female individual answered the door with a man, identified as Michael Stuckert, standing behind her with a loaded firearm pointed at the officer. Wesley was able to draw his service weapon and began immediately giving verbal commands to Michael to drop his weapon. Michael complied and Wesley arrested him without further incident. No injuries were reported. Michael was charged with wanton endangerment second degree of a police officer, and he's held at the Barron County Detention Center on a $5,000 cash bond. Caleb Vinson is behind bars for fatally shooting 3 women, including his ex, and for wounding his infant son that she was holding. At around 6:30 a.m. on Monday the 24th of July, authorities responded to a report of a triple killing at Wood Creek Apartments in East Brady Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and found 3 women dead on the floor inside an apartment. A baby boy had been shot and was also found next to one of the women. The 11-month-old infant underwent surgery and is expected to survive. Police said detectives learned Caleb got into the apartment by shooting at a sliding glass door. A 13-year-old boy was inside the apartment and hid in a back bedroom when he heard the gunshots, adding that Caleb forced the boy out of his bedroom and was then very remorseful of his actions. The boy managed to escape out of the apartment window and called for help. Police identified the deceased women as 20-year-old Anaway McKay, Caleb's ex-girlfriend 38-year-old Ashley Atwell, and 19-year-old Sarah Gonzalez. Police said Caleb initially ran away from the scene, but felt guilty and turned himself in at around 8 a.m. He was arrested for 3 counts of first-degree murder, shooting with intent to kill and first-degree burglary. Caleb has been held at the Tulsa County Jail without bond. Ashley and Caleb split up more than a year ago, and Caleb moved into the apartment across the street from Ashley. 9 months ago, Ashley filed a protective order against Caleb after he choked her, hit her, and attempted to place a gun in her mouth. The protective order, however, was later dismissed. The investigation into the matter continues. Authorities are searching for a man after he fatally shot another man during a physical altercation. At 12:24 a.m. on Friday the 21st of July, authorities responded to a shooting at the 1100 block of East 17th Street in Winston-Salem, North Carolina on reports of shots fired. When officers arrived, they found the victim, 26-year-old Devontae Atkins, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Despite attempting life-saving measures, he died at the scene. Detectives discovered that Devontae was in a fight with an unnamed 22-year-old man when he was shot. Police said there was an exchange of gunfire when this suspect was also shot. The suspect then fled the scene. The suspect's injuries were non-life-threatening, and police said he was treated and released from a local hospital. Detectives are working on locating the suspect. The investigation into the matter continues.